welcome to Top of the Morning at Top of the World Trade Center. My name is Betty Montgomery Williams.
And I'm Obi Linton.
And we have a special guest for you today. It's exciting. Don't touch the dial because actor extraordinaire, entrepreneur, and all actors and actresses and crew people, film media people need to know about this man. Yes. His name is Brian DRAGONUK, and he is just a lifesaver to a lot of us. So stay tuned, and we're going to talk to Brian, right? We're going to have a good show.
We're going to see a lot of clips of him. We're going to talk a lot more about his experiences in the acting industry in this area. You're going to talk.
And you're doing well. By the way, he's hosting with me for the first time, and he's doing a great job. Great job.
I've known it for a long time.
Oh, he's been doing it for a long time. Welcome back to Top of the Morning. Our guest today is Brian DRAGONUK, actor, entrepreneur extraordinaire. This man, everyone loves him. All the actors in Maryland, D.C., Virginia, Pennsylvania. Welcome to Top of the Morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, give me a handshake here.
All right.
And my co-host is Obi Linton.
Welcome.
Cool. Brian, I've always wanted to ask you this. Why did you start the Audition newsletter? What made you do this to help all these actors?
The first project that I was on was called The Replacements. It was a Gene Hackman, Keanu Reeves movie that filmed here in late '99. Mm-hmm. I had not given acting a thought as a career. It was a whim. They hired me to be an extra for $100 a day, you know, sitting in the stands and waving and cheering, and I actually stayed 3 months. I liked it.
Wow.
I stayed the entire run of the movie. But when we were in holding, and there was like 300 to 500 people a day that were in the stands cheering or down on the field playing photographers, etc. Mm-hmm. People would tell you about the jobs that they had done in the past, commercials that they've shot or whatever, right, but they wouldn't give you any useful information for you to get yourself started.
Okay.
So I started getting bits and pieces of who the reputable casting directors were, who the reputable agents were, projects coming up, like Cecil B. Demented with John Waters was coming to town towards the end of our filming for The Replacements. And I started trading bits and pieces of information with people, and as I was giving out information, there were some that were willing to give me information back. And
networking.
Yep, absolutely networking. And by the end of the movie, I had a list of about 200 people that were good friends over the shoot, that had contributed back, and I started out every 6 months hosting a dinner at a restaurant. You know, I found a restaurant with a large enough room that everybody paid for their own stuff, but it was a networking luncheon, and from that I developed the email system that I'm using today, and just started emailing out everything that I could, because there was no way of contacting 200 people by phone, because I heard that this commercial was going to shoot or something like that. So that was the start of it. I wanted to make sure that anybody coming up behind me didn't have as much trouble finding the information out about getting established and doing it, whether you wanted to do it just as a hobby or whether you were seriously interested in developing an acting career. I wanted to make sure there was a steady flow of accurate information out there so that everybody could apply, and that's the basis of the thing. I send everything I hear. You sort of have to look through it and find what you want and then apply for it.
I don't know an actor in this area that has not benefited from your Audition newsletter. Seriously.
Thank you.
I've benefited, and I want to thank you. Seriously, I have gotten jobs. But do you have does the casting agents or directors contact you now since you're so popular? Because I'm in Philadelphia, New York. Everybody's heard of your newsletter.
There's certain people that supported me from the very beginning. Agents, casting directors that started sending me stuff directly right in the beginning. Right now, I think that there's 9 of the major casting directors, and I do specifically Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington to Richmond, that area. I do a little bit of North Carolina and a little bit of New York.
North Carolina?
But just if it's a major thing coming in and they're looking for specific people, I send it out.
We're working with the Black Web Awards and with Black TV Online. I've come across a number of different actors and actresses who have used your email list and have benefited from some of the listings that you produce.
Well, thank you. It's nice to know that it is out there and appreciated. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I want to make sure that all of the information's out there and they can choose not to, look at an opportunity. But if they don't know about it, they don't have a choice.
Right.
So that's why I'm trying to get as much information to everyone as I can.
Is there anything new that you plan on doing with your news list? You were mentioning earlier how I guess the setup.
Well, I would like to get away from Yahoo groups, but
Yes,
they're
overflowing.
free and
Yeah.
I'm not charging anybody anything for this. I'm doing it totally free, so I don't have a lot of money to invest in developing a website the way that I want and to be able to extend services. So I've talked with a couple of companies about partnering and creating a better site, but I don't have anything that I'm comfortable is going to happen soon in that end. But there's certain features. For a while, I had an asking the casting directors feature where people would write in to me different questions. I would send it out to all of the casting directors, and they would reply. I had a SAG-AFTRA Q&A with the Bethesda office that did the same thing. The people, union and non-union, would email me different questions, and I sent the answers out on them. I am working on something right now on actor professionalism. There's some quality issues out there that I think that making the actors aware of is going to bring that out and help the actors become more professional in their auditioning and in
Hold that
their
thought
site
one
stuff.
moment. We're going to go to a break, okay? And we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the top of the World Trade Center here in Baltimore, Maryland. We're still here with our guest today,
Brian DRAGONUK.
Brian DRAGONUK. Brian, one of the things you were just talking about a few moments ago is how you've begun to branch out from just the email Yahoo group. You're now starting to offer commentary and questions and professional advice to some of the actors and actresses, and you're doing all of this for free.
Yes.
What's driving you to continue doing this?
Basically, I think that this is a really good industry. Real happy with changing careers and getting into it. I did it late in life. And my drive really is the more professional the industry is at large, the more bigger, higher paying productions come here and hire more local people. And it's cast and crew. I have a newsletter that does some things for the freelance crew and production companies as well. So it's just trying to get the industry at large acting more professional and growing in the right direction is what I'm trying to accomplish, and leveling a playing field so that, like I say, everybody knows about every job, every opportunity. I send out networking events. I send out training sessions that local colleges and universities do, as well as there's some actors that have taken courses and learned how to teach, that teach really good courses. We're starting to get people, instructors from LA and from New York, to come here and do mostly weekend seminars and go back, but it's a higher level of true acting instruction for our industry.
It's your passion. I know this because you're an actor, right?
Right. Actor first, everything else second.
That's right. So I think, well, to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but being that it is your passion and what you just mentioned to Obi, this is also an opportunity for you as an actor. You making things better for this area, and it has become better since I've been doing it anyway. But I mean, you right in the middle, you see both sides, you know.
Yeah, and I do a little bit of both sides.
That was my next question.
Okay.
You've been casting also, I see.
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of casting most recently. I do a little bit of production work because I can't always earn a living doing just the acting. So I need some other skills in there so that if I'm not hired to be in front of the camera, well, then I can do some casting or do something behind the scenes or work with people. And the more I know about the industry, I think that's the more that I can tailor my newsletters to helping the individuals on those different newsletters and again, keep the industry growing in the right direction. And there's a lot of people out there that are spending a lot of their time and effort, you know, doing the same thing.
Right.
But I've got the numbers. I actually, through not only my newsletters, but through some agreements that I have with a couple of agents and other people, that I have posting privileges on their sites.
Good.
I actually reach 15,000 local actors overnight.
I was going to ask you, what is your count?
Yeah, on my film and video newsletter,
Okay.
I've only got about 4,500 people, but through the other newsletters and websites, I actually hit 15,000 people overnight.
Great.
So anything that you need, union or non-union, any kind of
Crew,
race,
production.
gender,
Right.
language, religion, anything that you need, I have a wide enough base that
Yes, you do.
you'll be able to find it. The same with the production personnel. That list is about 2,500 people strong for the area. but those are just the ones that are on their direct. Email has this life of its own. People get the email, so they send it to 10 friends, and somebody there sends it to another 3, and somebody else sends it to another 5. So, I don't know what the total count of the people seeing, and then
Who's telling someone else.
right.
Well, we would also like to thank you from Top of the Morning. We've had a number of hosts over the last 4 years, about 40 of them, and many of them have come to this show through your newsletter.
Well,
So that's been a great plus.
He makes a big
for us.
influence on this community, on
Absolutely.
this area, period.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
What type of, we've heard about our feedback. We know what people have told us about your newsletter. But what have people told you?
Oh, I get both sides. I get hate mail from people because I'm too union. I get hate mail from people because I'm
really?
too non-union. But
And
those
you
are
probably get the hate mail from when you discover a scam. I notice you will let people know when there's a scam
when
out
there's a
there.
scam out there. So it's funny because there's a Hollywood website that actually had "Do you know of Brian DRAGONUK and do you like or hate him?" contest going a few years ago, and it was like 75% of the people
goodness.
liked me and 25% didn't like me. There was about 3,000 people that had entered the thing, but I was surprised that while it is a national site, I looked at some of the demographics that they had, and there were a lot of people in LA that knew of my newsletters as
Oh
well.
yeah, they probably got out
So-
to LA through your newsletter.
So, yeah.
You know.
I really am proud of what I've accomplished, and I know
should be.
that probably 95% or better of the people appreciate it, and I do get thank yous as well. But it's not all that cut and dry. I get some really nasty emails
Wow.
from people that
I had no
think
idea
that.
that you got nasty email.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I just had one the other day. I sent out a piece. A friend of mine did a voiceover, and it happened to be for a website that was pro-war, and that set off a rash of people who are
my
anti-war about, why am I pushing pro-war stuff on the site. I said I didn't. I sent out stuff clearly that this actor did this. Take
Right.
a look at it. I'm
Right,
congratulating an actor just like I do for everything else. And, I had the same thing back in the last presidential election where, they were looking for actors or extras to do a commercial or something like that, and I sent it out. It's a job.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I am, a jobs newsletter. So then
Right.
I got people from the other side, emailing me that I'm
Oh, my
playing
goodness.
favorites and that I'm on this side or that side. And I said, no,
my
they
goodness.
sent me something looking for actors. This is a jobs website.
Right.
All right? I don't care about the politics. I actually have a good rapport with the agents and the casting directors, and they use me to post quite a bit. I have seen some things that they have written to some other people every once in a while, again criticizing something that they saw or something that I put out for a competitor of theirs or this or that. And, the service is there. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it.
Right.
But don't get mad at me because I'm posting for
Right.
one of your competitors and didn't post for you. You didn't send it to me. If you did, it would have gone out.
So how can someone who does not receive your newsletter get involved and get information?
The easiest way, there's a subscribe email that I don't have memorized that puts
Okay.
you directly on. But if you go to my website, which is bdragonuk.com,
Okay.
There is a contact me.
DRAGONUK.
Oh, yeah, it's DRAGON, just like fire-breathing dragon from the United Kingdom, UK. It's one word. There's no dots or periods or whatever. Just B DRAGONUK, first initial B for yeah. It's DRAGON UK.
UK.
All right. And there's a contact me thing on there. Just
So that they can
fill it out and hit send, and then I will send you an invite to the Yahoo group. And once you return that invite, then you're set up and you start receiving the newsletters.
I normally send it to someone who says, "Oh, tell me about that audition. I'll send it to you. How do I join?" Look at the very bottom.
The very bottom. Every single message that goes out tells everybody how to subscribe.
Yeah.
So, and that's because I know that emails take on this life of their own and go all over the place.
Yes, they do. And before, I just got to ask you, we've been talking about you as the entrepreneur, but what about Brian as the actor? What do you want to continue to act, and what do you want to accomplish? What is your goal?
Acting is the passion that I've got. It is.
Because you've done it all, right?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I did a 9/11 documentary
Saw it.
last year,
Good.
Countdown to
Good.
Ground Zero. That is sort of a showpiece of the top Baltimore, Washington talent. I played a guy by the name of Rick Riscorla, who was the head of security for Morgan Stanley. He was in the World Trade Center for both bombings, the one in '93 and the one that killed him in 9/11. So that was a real good part, and I've gotten some really good reviews on what I did in that in particular. TV commercials.
Give us a commercial that we would know you by.
Well,
Something that's pretty.
it depends, because they're localized. I've got something for homefinders.com that's airing in certain areas of the DC market, but it's on the individual county cable. So I think it's running over in Virginia, in Stafford County, Loudoun County. I think it's running in Montgomery County, Maryland. That's a really nice commercial. One of the first ones I ever did, as a matter of fact, it was my first commercial and my first speaking part both, was for an Exxon station over on Route 40, playing the competitor's mechanics. So I'm head to toe grease. I've got tattoos on both arms. I've got teeth blackened out.
Oh, that should have been cool.
I'm standing in a woman's car engine with a sledgehammer saying, "Yep, I thinks I can fix this." No, I'm sure I thinks I knows I can fix this.
It's a southern accent, right?
Because, it was the competitors, the owner of the station came on and says, "Look familiar? You'll never see this on at my station," and that still plays from now and again. And it's also, if you go to my website, my video demo reel is playable, so you can actually see that commercial and a few other.
Wow. You know what? We want to take a look at that. So let's take a look at this clip. And this is Brian doing his thing as an actor.
Yeah, I think I can fix this. I'm sure I think I can fix this.
Wow. That was funny. I like that accent. I like that. You're very versatile. Very versatile.
I mean, you have to be if you want to do well in this.
Yeah,
I did 17 West Wings, 13 of them in front of the camera, and 4 of them as crew. And
I think that's where I met you.
Yeah, because
I wrote with you.
I picked you up.
We're right across the street. All right, so I remember you doing West Wing, and yes, I did ride with you. And So do you have clips from West Wing too on your site?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that there is one clip on my demo reel of me on a West Wing, but if you look at the Jobs photo album, there's pictures of me not only with the major stars that came about.
Well, can we take a look at it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so cool, man. You are cool. Oh, just by the way, we're at the top of the world, at the top of the World Trade Center. So if you hear any noise, that's the tourists just walking around having a good old time while we're sitting here with Brian, and they're also watching you. Because I mean, you're important.
They might be on his list.
Well,
yeah, they could be.
They could be.
So, Obi, don't be so quiet. What do you have to say to this man?
I'm wondering why I'm not on the list. I need to find out how I can get on there as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy enough to take care of. So, like I say, if you go to bdragonuk.com and just use that submit to me,
right.
that'll get you right on the list. So
that's great.
We'll take care of that.
So when we come back from this break, we're gonna talk some more.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You discovered it in your own.
I'm going to see the president tomorrow. Unfortunately, the vote, so I have to run. My darling? Oh, well, I have to keep fighting. That's a big thing. It's a huge thing. And I told my mother who's very proud of you. I'm actually Thank you, Speaker Pelosi.
We're back. You're going to hear an air conditioner in the background, but I'm here with Joan Wages, who is the president of the National Women's History Museum, the place that we're at right now where the event took place. Joan, this is a wonderful and momentous event. Please tell us a little bit about the museum as well as why this event is important.
Well, the National Women's History Museum is working with Congress to identify a site on or next to the National Mall. And we are working to preserve women's history because there is not a women's history museum in any nation's capital in the world. So it's very unbelievable that women today still don't have a museum that recognizes their history. And the importance of today is to recognize someone like Nancy Pelosi who spent 25 years of her life in working on issues that impact women or are about women, and that she has broken down so many barriers herself on behalf of women.
Joan, this National Women's Museum on the Mall, how far along is it? Is there a site actually identified yet?
We are working with Congress to create a commission that would identify the site for us.
That's the first start.
Yes, we've had some bills introduced, but now we've decided that this is the best way to go.
Well, I hope yours goes more quickly than the World War II.
Yeah, I know.
That was only a couple of years ago. World War II was 50 years ago, so we're
But they didn't start right after.
Well, okay, all right. So we'll hopefully, first step is getting the commission started.
Exactly.
All right, and the existing location you were at now,
Yes,
so it has a wonderful history.
it does. This was the home of the National Women's Party. The National Women's Party, of course, lobbied Congress and raised awareness to get the vote for women. So this is an extraordinary house and represents really good and wonderful things for women.
Welcome back to the Top of the World Trade Center for Top of the Morning. I'm Betty Montgomery Williams.
Obie Lindsay?
And our guest host today is Brian DRAGONUK, actor extraordinaire and entrepreneur. You know, I have to put that behind. Welcome back to Top of the World, and we're having a great conversation with Brian. He is giving us so much information for those actors out there, crew people, production. And Obie, you were mentioning how could you get on, right?
Well, I was mentioning that because I'm not really a big-time actor right now. But Brian was also mentioning a few moments ago that he wasn't always an actor either.
No.
Right.
So what was your first career?
Yeah, that's a good question.
My first career out of high school was managing restaurants and fast food joints.
Oh.
The normal Burger King, McDonald's, Ponderosa Steakhouse thing. But I always was in management, even straight out of high school. Just something clicked. Then I went into the insurance business for 25 years.
Life, health.
No, property and casualty, high-risk property and casualty. I actually designed insurance programs for companies that didn't have them and approached them as a managing general agent to use their name and their company, file my programs and manage them for them and split profits. So I spent 25 years doing that. Then I went to work for two local companies. That one was a hardware supply store, the other one was a book and greeting card company in their art department. I'm not an artist, but when the artist designed stuff, I printed it out and made samples. So the hardware supply company, I made all of their displays that they sold nationally.
So hold that thought. We got to take a break, okay?
All right.
So when we come back, we'll talk more with Brian DRAGONUK. Thanks.
Imagine a child struggling to breathe, to speak, to eat, forbidden to go to school or play with other kids, ridiculed, abused, abandoned. That's the tragic reality for thousands of children born every year in the developing world with a cleft palate or a cleft lip. But all it takes is a simple surgery to repair a cleft and change that child's life forever. Smile Train is the leading cleft lip and cleft palate charity in the world and has provided free cleft surgeries to thousands of poor children. But there are still so many others who desperately need help, like Mary, who's been waiting 5 years for a simple surgery that could change her life forever. But you can stop the suffering of a child like Mary right now by calling the number on your screen or visiting SaveMary.com now and becoming a member of the Smile of the Month Club. Your gift of only $21 a month, that's less than 70 cents a day, will provide life-changing surgery to helpless children like Mary. When you do, we'll send you this letter of appreciation with a photo of a child like Mary whose life you have helped save. Plus, regular updates describing how your tax-deductible monthly gift is continuing to save lives. Why should any child be sentenced to a life of shame, ridicule, and abuse, when all it takes is a simple surgery to give her not just a new smile, but a new life? You can stop the suffering of a child like Mary right now. All you have to do is call or go online and join the Smile of the Month Club. It costs less than 70 cents a day, and it means so much to a child in need. For her sake, please do it now. Call 1-877-902-3738 or visit www.savemary.com. That's 1-877-902-3738 or savemary.com.
Welcome back to Top of the World at Top of the World Trade Center. I'm Betty Montgomery Williams.
And I'm Opie Linton.
And our guest is Brian DRAGONUK, actor, entrepreneur. He's the man if you want information about your next job in acting or behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
What were we talking about earlier? You were mentioning something, and then
Brian was telling us a little bit about his careers prior to starting his
yeah,
career.
wow.
And like I say, I built their hardware displays.
This is for the insurance.
No,
Insurance
this is after the insurance industry. This is when I was working for the art department of a hardware supply company. And then the book and greeting card company, the same thing. I worked in their art department when the artist designed a new card, new packaging, new display. I printed them out on the office copier so the salesman had samples to start selling it while it was at press.
Okay.
So we would have some pre-sold orders.
So there's
on
that creativity right there. So,
and that sort of led straight into the acting. So
from there.
I had not considered acting. A lot of people in high school and college, they're doing plays, they're doing this, they're doing that. Didn't interest me at all back then. The working on Cecil B. Demented
With John Waters.
with John Waters was what really solidified my wanting to be in this industry. I'm sitting in the Senator Theater. It's one of the opening scenes where a guy walks out on the stage, fires off a gun, he's kidnapping someone. They have two huge flower arrangements. They're like 6 foot high by 6 foot wide cases of flowers there that explode. Somebody throws a Molotov cocktail over our head, and I'm sitting there looking at John's camera angles and seeing things like colored cellophane next to a light with a fan blowing it. There's a 12 foot by 12 foot gas stove that's only 6 inches tall that they put in front of our feet so that when the Molotov cocktail goes over our heads and hits what looks like the stage, they hit a button and flames shoot up from this thing. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching John's camera angles and watching all of this mayhem happen and the terror in everybody in the theater and running to get out and this and that and the other thing. And that's when I said, this really is an industry that I want to be a part of.
Good.
This is something that's really, really unique. And the greeting card company that I worked for went bankrupt right afterwards, and I decided while I was looking for regular employment to go ahead and put headshots out and see whether or not I could make it as an actor.
What, can we see a clip as you as an actor?
Yeah, let's go to another clip.
Yeah, let's check that out.
Hi, welcome to this segment of Top of the Morning, the DRAGONUK Connects segment. Today we are looking at a 30-second TV commercial on how it came into being. It is for a company in Virginia called homefinders.com. And basically what we were doing, she wanted something to broadcast that would tell people to go on the internet and look for homefinders.com because she is an internet real estate company. Was extremely easy. Everybody had 2 words to say, so it wasn't a lot of memorization in there. But I do want to take a second right now before we start talking more about the actor's side. I do want to run the clip and show you
Next home. A spacious family room?
Our agent, homefinders.com.
Perhaps a gourmet kitchen?
Our agent,
Homefinders.com.
What about a relaxing deck?
our agent,
Homefinders.com. Visit homefinders.com and go to search listings to find the homes listed for sale. or call 1-800-711-7988. Homefinders.com.
Wow.
See?
You're good. You know, you're an actor and you're an entrepreneur with the newsletter. Which would you prefer? That's a hard question, isn't it?
Acting is the passion.
Yeah.
It's the engine that drives everything else. But there's also a foreseeable cap as to how much further I can grow as an actor.
Yeah.
So that's again why I want to have all of the other little things out there, the casting, the newsletters, etc., so that I've got other things that I can do in the industry if I sort of don't keep up with the growth of in front of the camera.
Now, do you type all of this? And before you
Don't-
answer that, we're going to take another look. You got a lot of clips. We're going to take another look at one of your clips.
Okay.
Because we want everybody to see you.
For joining us. I hope that you have a better understanding of the importance of TV commercials to the local actors and to the production companies in putting them together, and have a better understanding of what it is to be an actor in the Baltimore, Washington area. Neva, thank you very much.
My
Hope
pleasure.
to see you again on something soon.
Okay.
Bruce, always a pleasure.
Great to see you
We've
again.
done a few projects together where we didn't even show up on the same days and found out later in the credits that we were on the same
This is
project,
true,
same
right?
movies. So it's good to be with you again.
Vice versa.
For joining us. I hope that you have a better understanding of the importance of TV commercials to the local actors and to the production companies in putting them together, and have a better understanding of what it is to be an actor in the Baltimore, Washington area. Neva, thank you very much.
My
Hope
pleasure.
to see you again on something soon.
Okay.
Bruce, always a pleasure.
How many clips do you have?
I've actually, in 7 years, I've done 450 different projects.
Wow.
In 93 speaking parts. I don't have copies of all of them, but I've got a large
That
portion.
is amazing. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll wrap it up with Brian. He is fantastic. So stay with us. Okay, let's.
Things going on when it comes to careers in science, technology, engineering, and math, and it's really exciting to be able to share some of them with you. This is a very exciting career for kids, any kid, but in particular we'd like to encourage girls to think about being an engineer or a scientist, because it's really a fun career. I worked for over 30 years as an engineer, and I can't think of anything I could do that would have been more fun than what I did, and what I'm still doing, in fact. So it's really a great thing to consider. So I'm going to show you some clips. Come on with me on the trip.
That was one of the crew pictures we took that kind of said what everybody was going to do on the mission.
Being led out really by mission specialist Norm Thagard, Mark Lee, Mary Cleve, and the commander and pilot, Commander Dave Walker waving, and pilot Ron Graby waving. T-minus 15, 14, 13, and liftoff.
7 feet per second. Atlantic 2 miles downrange.
Booster and Brian and Murray in the flight deck. They were preparing for the first of the 2 spacewalks. Three of us, Murray, Woody and myself, dug ourselves the Ace Construction Company with the supporting crew of the rest of the crew, and we put up our advertisement after we've completed the construction of the first access truss.
The arm flies wonderfully. It's just such a great tool. Real smooth and no surprises. Being able to interact with them, and they gave me some real good directions while we were up there.
Mary took most of these motion picture Earth views that we've got, and this is one way she did it.
We had a mid-deck experiment called a fluid experiment apparatus, which you can see here. My hands are inside of this. It's a little furnace. We were growing indium crystals. It was really an excellent mid-deck for us. We controlled it with our little experiment computer, which worked great, different floppy disks for each experimental run.
Here's Mary at the overhead windows. This is a primary vantage point for Earth observation photography.
Yeah, I sort of shared doing the food cooking duties. Whoever got hungry first seemed to be the person that would end up cooking. But it's actually a lot easier in 0G going up the stairs. In 1G you have to be careful and take the trays one at a time, these bags, before we unpack them. You can see it took up a lot of space down here. A lot of times at work I feel like I'm running around in circles, and so I tried actually running around in circles, and it worked up there, and it was a lot of fun.
Walker?
Been fun working with you here and showing you a little bit about what NASA does, and I hope that we have a great time. Hope that you have a good time too. It's been great talking to you.
World Trade Center in Baltimore, Maryland. We're here with Brian DRAGONUK and Betty Montgomery Williams, my co-host, and we're talking about...
And what is your name?
Oh, my name's Obie Liz. And we're here today just talking about the wide range of things that Brian has been doing for the acting community in the Baltimore, Maryland, well, you can go as far south as South Carolina, North Carolina?
Richmond, Virginia, pretty well, and north is Philadelphia.
Well, that's just the geographical limitation, but we're talking about an email distribution system, so we're really global here. This is a global presence right here in front of us.
Yeah, he is.
So we're coming to the end of the program. Now, obviously, we keep talking for quite a long time. We just mentioned that
we could do a documentary on this man. I mean, telling you, he has a story and something, and you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but I know, and a lot of people know who know Brian, and because you've helped us so much, that you wasn't doing so well at one point in time, and we want to make sure we showed you our appreciation. And I was one of those people. So I want to thank you, because you've been a blessing to a lot of actors and actresses out there. So.
Thank you. I try to do a good job, and the industry growth is important. It helps me get more jobs as people in LA or New York or Chicago or wherever decide to come here to do a movie, come here to do a TV commercial, come here to do a training video, because they know that there's trained professionals both in front of the camera and behind the camera, union and non-union, that can do the job for them, and that's a big thing.
So what would you want to leave, and Obie, you can follow up behind me, but what would you want everyone out there to know about Brian DRAGONUK? You just told us about this is your passion, but what advice would you give to any actors, actresses out there, production crew people?
The big thing is work ethic. If you get yourself into a good set of habits for your work ethics and carry them through, doesn't matter what kind of training you had prior to coming into acting, if you've got good work habits and everything, it's going to be noticed and appreciated. If somebody tells you that you have to go outside and stand by the stop sign on the corner, even though they're filming inside the building, just in case the cameraman trips and it goes out the window, you do that. The next time they got somebody, next time they have something where you're standing right there next to the star doing something, the guy that you did what he wanted, when he wanted, because he needed it, and it's his choice again. You're going to be in there. And
okay, that's good advice.
I've done a lot of parts where I've spent a lot of, I get good camera time, and I get to see myself on the big screen and on television just because I have done what they want. And I don't think that there's anybody out there that would say that I did an unprofessional day for them. I don't know of anyone that would say that. So that's the thing, the work ethic. If you can carry that through, you can be a success here.
That's excellent advice. And you have a lot more excellent advice through your email listings, your website. So once again, tell all the viewers how they can get in touch with you.
Easiest way is to go to my website. It's my personal acting website. It's bdragonuk.com. But there is a Contact Brian feature on there. Just fill that out, put your email address on it, send it to me, and I will send you back an invite to the Yahoo group for the newsletters. You have to return the invite in order to start receiving them. That's the way Yahoo makes sure that I'm not spamming people that don't want it. You have to request it, then you have to approve it in order to actually receive it. And it's again DRAGONUK, DRAGONUK, all one, bdragonuk.com.
Brian, thank you so much for joining us here on Top of the Morning. But I also want to thank you personally, and I want to thank you from every actor, actress, crew member, production person who's ever worked in this area and beyond, because you are a true blessing. Please, whatever you do, don't leave us. We need you.
I really enjoy the industry.
We need you.
I know that there's 500 extremely close personal friends out there from the sets that I've been on.
There's not been one set that I've met people that didn't know you. So I want to tell you, you keep up the good work. God is going to truly bless you.
Thank you.
Definitely you're going to receive your blessing. They're already flowing, and they'll continue to flow. And I want to thank you again for joining us here on Top of the Morning.
Thanks.
Can I get a handshake on that one?
Thank you very much. Take care, everybody. Thank you once again for tuning in to the Top of the Morning show here at the top of the World Trade Center in Baltimore, Maryland. My name is Obie Linton.
And I'm Betty Montgomery Williams, and our guest today was Brian Dragonuck, and we want to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, I love Brian. He's a wealth of information. I love the show. Did you like the show?
I liked it.
Wow, did we not have a good show?
We did. It's always good to bring some positive and productive information to the viewers.
A lot of information. Information is power, most definitely.
Absolutely.
But we want to thank you for watching.
Yes, very much. Thank you once again, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.
I'm Betty Montgomery Williams.
I'm Obie Linton.
And we're here top of the world on Top of the Morning at the World Trade Center. Bye-bye.
See you.
Turn the caption and ring the bell daily. And we recommend the free self-guided audio tour, which comes in 2 flavors. One perfect for children, the other for adults. Plus, there's the ever-popular Powder Monkey Tour for kids and hands-on adult tours like A Ship as a Machine and Black Sailors in Navy Blue. Groups can also come aboard and sling their hammocks in our overnight program or host special events. Our crew knows the USS Constellation is an amazing experience, but don't just take our word for it. Here's what recent visitors had to say.
It's very kid-friendly, very family-oriented, and the kids will love it, and they'll come out asking questions, which I love.
it transports you back. You can almost get the feel that you were actually there, because laying in that hammock, like, oh my goodness.
I think it's really interesting because it shows you exactly how they slept and how they ate and how they went through life.
But it was excellent tour, and I think it's something they need to maintain for generations to come.
Should be kind of a must for people who are in the area and have an hour or two to spend.
And it's just amazing to see what people lived in and how hard they worked in order to accomplish what they did.
It brings your learning alive, and that it helps you to understand. Like, rather than looking at pictures, you can actually see what they were in, and you can actually understand it.
I think it makes me appreciate being an American, knowing these people went through these things to put me where I am now.
I'd say come see it.
Yeah, we were a little bit leery because of the age of our children, 4 and 7, but they enjoyed it so much. It really kind of surprised us. We thought it'd be more for us, the parents, but no, they loved it.
They had a good time.
Yeah, they had a great time.
So come aboard USS Constellation. And while you're here in Baltimore, be sure to visit these other attractions of the Chesapeake Bay Gateways Network. The Baltimore Visitor Center, a good place to start your tour of this historic city and region. The National Aquarium on Pier 3 near the USS Constellation Museum. The Lightship Chesapeake and 7-Foot Knoll Lighthouse, both part of the Baltimore Maritime Museum. The Frederick Douglass Isaac Myers Maritime Park and Museum, headquarters of the Living Classrooms Foundation. Fells Point, an early American shipbuilding center, and the Fells Point Maritime Museum. And of course, Fort McHenry National Monument, where the people of Baltimore valiantly defended the city from the British during the War of 1812, and Baltimore's own Francis Scott Key wrote our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. So welcome aboard USS Constellation and enjoy your visit to the historic sites of the Chesapeake Bay Gateways Network.